My name is Jacob Adams. I'm a fitness and leadership coach. I help people just like you get to the next level. Today, I would like to read an essay. There's a collected book of essays. The name of the book is The Divine Romance. And I'm currently at a stage in my life where I'd like to get deeper in my connection to the Lord and hear His voice more. As if you've been keeping up with some of the themes in my videos over the last several weeks, years, getting closer to God is definitely something that I invest time into, effort, prayer, meditation. And today I'll be reading an essay from this book. I've not read this particular essay. These essays tend to be a little powerful, so I'm just going to get right into it, okay? How Feelings Mask the Soul. It says, then the beholder, the soul, is established in its own state. Yoga Sutras 1.3. And let's begin. If at this moment you could completely calm your body, your thoughts, and your emotions, you would instantly become aware of your true self, the soul, and of your great body of the universe, throbbing with the joy of God. The soul would be established in its own state, quotation marks. Isn't it strange that the joy of God is there, yet you cannot feel it? The reason you do not know His bliss is that you are intoxicated with ego feeling, chitta. If I put a screen before me, I will still be here, but you won't see me. Take the screen away, and you will see me. So the screen of feelings arise from the ego, or body consciousness hides God's joy. Remove the screen through meditation and you will behold that joy. Your real nature is calmness. You have put on a mask of restlessness, the agitated state of your consciousness resulting from the stimuli of feelings. You are not that mask. You are pure, calm spirit. It is time you remember who you are, the blessed soul, a reflection of spirit. Take off the mask of feelings. Face yourself. Whenever you become angry or filled with hate, you don a guise of evil. A person who gets angry enough wants to kill. He doesn't want to, really, that is, his soul doesn't want to, but because the soul has identified itself with feeling, his anger makes him think so. Therefore, it is not good to remain in the ordinary state of human consciousness, subject to such violent emotions. You imprison yourself in various moods, and this is the cause of all your sorrows. To escape, you have to dissolve the feelings and emotions connected with body consciousness. Meditation is the way. So long as you have thought of yourself as having certain qualities with their characteristic feelings and emotions, Patanjali says you are masquerading as these passions and desires because you've done it so many incarnations that you have utterly forgotten your real nature. Once you realize that each day you are only impersonating different characteristics according to your changing feelings, you will not be the same person. You will be able to cast off the delusive states. When you realize that passion and anger are not part of your true nature, these emotions will no longer have any control over you. Every person is innately wonderful. He has only to rid himself of the mask of ego consciousness. Remember that. If you put a diamond near a black cat, the diamond will reflect black. Can you then say the diamond is black? No. As soon as you remove the black cat and allow light to play on the diamond, it dazzles with its own natural luster. The black cat is your restlessness, which darkens your consciousness with emotions and obscures the light and joy of the soul. The very nature of restlessness is such that by the time you are feeling pleasure from one thing, you are already looking for something different. A persistent discontent stirred by feeling. But bliss, the joy of God hidden in your soul, is always new, always constant in your consciousness. Because it gives complete satisfaction. There is no more restlessness in you. I hope you understand the value of what I'm telling you today. It is the way to freedom from all sorrow. Perfect indulgence enslaves the soul. Perfect control of feelings make you king of yourself. Never be addicted to anything or bound by any habit. Drink coffee doesn't necessarily mean you are a slave to it, but if you have to have your coffee, then indeed feeling has enslaved you. As soon as you say, no, I don't need it, let that be the end of your bondage. I never allow anything to bind me. I can eat or drink something enjoyable and then dismiss all desire for it. The thought of it is gone in that instant. Start by not catering to likes and dislikes, and give the same training to your children. You spoil your children when you say, what would you like to eat? Do you care for spinach? You don't have to eat it if you don't like it. By such indulgence, you make your child a slave of feeling. You may say, if we do away with our feelings and likes and dislikes, won't we become like dumb matter, useless to the world? Is that what Patanjali teaches us? No. He says that when you have mastery of your feelings, you abide in your true state, the true state of self, the soul, in bliss, wisdom, love, peace. It is to be happy, and no matter what you are doing, you enjoy it. Isn't that much better than to blunder through the world like a restless demon, unable to find satisfaction in anything? When centered in your true self, you do every task and enjoy all things with the joy of God, filled with His intoxicating bliss. You joyfully perform all actions. Many people think that the Hindus teach a sort of mental annihilation, the supposed result of cessation of desire. On the contrary, the goal of Hindu philosophy is permanent bliss. There is no freedom or happiness in ceasing to exist. The very thought of it is painful. A joy that never grows stale is what you want, and that is what Patanjali teaches you can have by becoming established in your true soul nature. A balanced attitude nurtures soul awareness. Then comes the question, how can we really take interest in anything if we neutralize desires and feelings? You have seen those who work without any interest in what they are doing. Their work and attitude show it. They don't care about the result so long as they can say they are doing their job. But the lover works very hard and conscientiously for his beloved. He will do more for the one he loves than he will himself. This is the way to serve God. And this is how we will feel if we love God. We will work joyously for Him. At one extreme, there are people who have the idea that to get ahead in life, they must work nonstop, like automatons. But the other extreme is just as bad. As soon as these people become interested in spiritual matters, they lose interest in everything else. That is the wrong attitude. It is one reason India lost her freedom. She misused the doctrine of non-attachment. She thought, so what if the dirt accumulates in the hermitage? It is all right. Why bother? To do anything about it requires too much concentration on material concerns. Be non-attached. Renounce all material activity possible. Such an attitude hides mental laziness under a cloak of false spirituality. I found that truly great masters were very interested in the world, but without any attachment. When Master Swami Sri Yukteswar was given something nice, he was conscientious about looking after it. But if it was broken, he would only laugh. My care is over. It has taken so much attention. He was truly non-attached. I also feel the same way. I appreciate whatever God gives me, but I don't miss it when it is gone. Someone once gave me a beautiful coat and hat, an expensive outfit. Then began my worry. I had to be concerned about not tearing or soiling it. It made me uncomfortable. I said, Lord, why did you give me this bother? One day, I was to lecture in Trinity Hall here in Los Angeles. When I arrived at the hall and started to remove my coat, the Lord told me, take away your belongings from my pockets. I did so. When I returned to the cloakroom after my lecture, the coat was gone. I was angry, and someone said, never mind, we will get you another coat. I replied, I am not angry because I lost the coat, because whoever took it didn't take the hat that matches it too. Don't let your feelings rule you. How can you be happy if you are all the time fussing about your clothes or other possessions? Dress neatly in clean clothes and then forget about them. Clean your house and forget it. Once I was a guest at a very nice arranged dinner party. I had much enjoyed the dinner, but our hosts were so nervous lest things not go right that it marred the whole affair. Those who are sensitive feel your nervousness. Why worry? Do your best and then relax. Let things go in a natural way rather than force them. Then everyone around you will be relaxed too. Activity is not life. It is the expression of life. But some people are so constantly active that they make themselves miserable, exploding with emotion. The ordinary person is like a pendulum, swinging back and forth from one extreme to another, always moving, always restless. This is little more than an animalistic state. The yogi, on the other hand, is always calm, centered in his true nature, like a stilled pendulum. When he is active, he can go very fast. But when he stops, he is centered again in inner and outer calmness. Work with keen but unattached interest. So we must learn to work in this world with interest, but keep relaxed and unattached. I don't know how I could work without joyful enthusiasm. It is natural to have interest. Without it, we have no spring for motivation. Have the utmost interest in doing everything for God. Love Him so much that your greatest pleasure is to work and plan for Him. Doing things for God is a very personal experience, so satisfying. I find such joy in fixing up this building for Him. But when something goes wrong, I am not upset, not the least bit. Why should I be? I did my best. Yes, I will try to do better, but I won't let adversity disturb my calmness. Is that a wonderful thought? Why not? You didn't create this world. God did. Why should you think you live in this world only to please yourself? To live for self is a source of all misery. There was a time when I looked at the flower and enjoyed its fragrance, for me and mine. I heard the call of the brook, and it was for me and mine. Now I wake from that dream and hear it was only for thee and thine. The yogi's thought is always for thee and thine. He says, I am here in the world only for a little time. Why form strong attachments? I don't know why I'm here, but God knows. I will work for Him. I will try to follow my own will, but what He wants me to do. I will try to follow not my own will, but what He wants me to do. It was this surrender to the highest wisdom that gave Jesus the strength to say, Father, if thou be willing, remove this cup from me. Nevertheless, not my will, but thine be done. From this, many religionists have the idea that one shouldn't use his will. But if you didn't use your will, you would die. For willpower operates every physical and mental process. It is right to use your will, but with wisdom and direction from God. Otherwise, if you use your will wrongly, you will fall into error and suffer the consequences. Krishna said, those who have mastered their minds become engrossed in infinite wisdom. They have no further interest in any fruits of actions. Freed from this chain of rebirth, they attain the state beyond sorrow. Motive is criterion of right or wrong. Watch your motives in everything. Both the greedy man and yogi eat. But would you say that eating is a sin because it is often associated with greed? No. Sin lies in the thought, in the motive. The worldly man eats to satisfy his greed, and the yogi eats to keep his body well. There is a lot of difference. Similarly, one man commits murder and is hanged for it. Another man kills many human beings on the battlefield in defense of his country and is given a medal. Again, it is a motive that makes a difference. Moralists make absolute rules, but I am giving you illustrations to show you how you can live in this world of relativity with self-control of feeling, but without being an automaton. Master used a simple example. Suppose someone asks to borrow my nice field glass and assures me he will return it in 15 days. But at the end of the time, he does not return it. When I ask him where my glass is, he counsels me. You are a master, yet you are attached to a field glass? I wouldn't loan it to him again. Another man may ask to borrow the glass, saying he will return it in perfect order. He is kind and thoughtful, takes care of it, and returns it promptly. To him, I loan it any time. It is not that I care that much about the glass, but if something is mine, it is for me to care for in order to keep it serviceful. The second man understood that I was saving the field glass so it could serve others as well as himself. The first man did not understand my motive, so he not only deprived me, but everybody else who could have used it. I didn't want the glass for myself. I was thinking of it for all. Non-attachment gives great inner freedom and happiness. All the things I have cherished most, I have given away. I enjoyed them through the joy of others. The joy I get out of whatever I do is impersonal, not for self. It lies in the joy of God and making others happy. In India, I used to have a motorcycle. I rode it everywhere on it, especially to visit Master in his Serampore hermitage. I enjoyed that motorcycle very much. So one day I asked Master, am I attached to it? He knew every tremor of my thought and consciousness. Certainly not, he said. Shortly after that, I gave the motorcycle away to someone who had a deep desire for it, and I never missed it. That is the kind of freedom Patanjali teaches you to have, so that at all times you are a God, absolute ruler of the kingdom of your consciousness. You let no dark forces enter your portable heaven. Through my mind's iron bars, no evil dares to pry. Calmness is the parent of right action. When you attain freedom from slavery to feeling, you become spiritually sensitive, but you are no longer oversensitive to matter. You feel pain, but you are untouched by it. You see this world, but know it isn't the ultimate reality. You are above every limitation of body and mind, centered in the calm nature of your soul. But what poor training the world gives us, you can well understand. Either the father is mad and takes it out on the children, or the mother scolds without cause. What an example for the young. What a picture to place before them. It is better not to produce children unless you are willing to give them proper training. By withholding the right kind of discipline, you make them miserable all their lives. They acquire habits that prevent them from being themselves, their true selves. Of course, good habits are friends that help us, but wrong habits influence us to become demons. In the same house, you may find one person tolerating everything with calmness and another who is all the time boiling with anger, jealousy, and other disturbing emotions. If you can always remain calm, isn't that much better? If God got impatient, think what would happen to this world. Fortunately for us, he remains calm. He has perfect control of feeling. One part of him, has his absolute nature, is never restless, even though as a creator he knows what is going on here, because he exists in all. So should we be ever calm in our soul nature in spite of be ever calm in our soul nature in spite of any turmoil around us. When someone comes to me in a violent state, dancing with anger, I can see that he is suffering. No matter what I would say, he wouldn't understand because of his agitation. But if I control myself, I can humor him until I have calmed him and made him receptive to reason. I've never lost that calmness of my soul. If I had lost it, regardless of what excuse my mind might have offered, I would have lost with God. With God, that is where you must win. Inside, you should always be anchored in perfect calmness. When someone comes to you in anger, remain in charge of yourself. I will not lose my temper. I will keep on expressing calmness until its feeling changes. Then you are demonstrating perfect control of chitta. To have calm feeling doesn't mean that you always smile and agree with everyone no matter what they say, that you regard truth but don't want to annoy anybody with it. This is going to the extreme. Those who try in this way to please everyone with a desire of getting praise for their good nature do not necessarily have control of feeling. It is good to be pleasant and agreeable if your behavior is sincere, but agreeing with others all the time because you are afraid to speak the truth, lest you displease, cannot be called control of feeling. Whoever has control of feeling follows truth, shares that truth wherever he can, and avoids annoying